it's exciting because we create our own world. We work with rappers, we work with dancers, we work with all kind of outfits. We work with urban bushwomen. We work with everything. I write for plays, and movie scores, anything that comes my way, orchestras, strings, anything. And I have I finally can say that I can do everything in music that I set out to do. And I would not have done that had I just stayed in that little group on the Lower East Side. I would not have been able to bust out. And I see my same friends today. I just buried one of my best friends, Lawrence Butch Morris. We matriculated together in California. He was at those TM parties I was talking about. and so he just died. He invented conduction. And so we were very instrumental in a lot of things. He stayed in that Lower East Side thing, and he became the best at it. But I have bigger aspirations, and I still do. Now, what I want to do is take my big band to Vegas with Macy Gray. That's what I do. And stay there until everybody can buy a house.
What year did you do the bass clarinet series where you had guests? It was in the
yeah. Oh.
I came up with my daughter and I went to all of those.
No, that was in the 90s.
90s, I said 92, 93,
93, something like that. Yeah, with Randy Weston.
Yes.
We crossed Randy Weston. I did like 5 gigs with different things, and it was very nice.
Well, for us amateurs, you're great to copy. I love to copy your legs, I think. See, I didn't hear all the things that I heard. What a beautiful ballad, what a nice melody. I can hardly wait to get that and play that for my wife. And she'll say, wow, that's beautiful. And I mean, there will be just the sheer enjoyment.
Well, they'll be hustling.
You haven't lost
They'll be hustling them tonight. They'll be hustling the records tonight. They always do. So, yeah.
Mr. Mason, you had a question.
You're talking about Macy Gray. How did that collaboration come together? I mean, because when I think of her music, when I think of your music, it's not something that I would ordinarily like bring together, but it works well. So how did that come about?
Again, my wife, Valerie Malo, who's mother of my 2 kids in Paris, she's a producer, and she put the idea together. We did a big concert in Paris called Afro Pick, with Questlove from the Roots. And we had people from the Fela musical show. We had some people from my big band. We had Macy. And I did all the arrangements, and it was really successful. It was very nice. And Macy, she heard some of my arrangements, and she asked me to do some big band arrangements for one of her albums. And she was doing some covers. I think it was a Kanye West tune that was kind of adopted from a Nina Simone tune. And it ended up being nice, and she liked it, and so we've been working ever since together. And I'm just one of her musical directors.
Yes, Mr. Summerhill.
So I'm a music teacher, and a lot of people I try to teach adults how to get better, and a lot of them they have a life, they have a lot of stuff going on, and I try to help them see how music speaks to the rest of our life, like making music and someone mentioned growing as a musician, like growing as a musician helps us grow as people. So I was just wondering what you'd say to them about growing as a musician and how that's spoken to the rest of your life. Or yeah, I guess that's the general question.
What I always tell my students is, anybody can pick up a saxophone and any instrument, and learn how to play all the scales and be proficient at it at some point. But what makes people special is what is inside your heart. What you can do. What kind of voice can you get out of this piece of metal or this piece of wood? How can you speak to it so that when they hear it for 5 minutes, they say, oh yeah, well that's David. Oh, that's Joe Henderson. That's Roy. you have to have personality in the sound of the instrument. And the way those things grow, I always tell my students, okay, have you written a song at your home? One of your songs. Okay, take that song. Okay, write it, play it with a quartet. Okay, now, next week, I want you to come back with an arrangement where you have maybe 5 other guys playing horns with you. Maybe you got octet. Do that same arrangement for them. Okay, now, the next month, I want you to make a big band out of that same arrangement. And then all of a sudden, they're learning about they're growing in their own music faster than they ever would had they not done that. So, and that to me, that's what develops personality. And the other thing, just what you were saying about jazz festivals, I think I have a friend named Anthony Bush, Professor Anthony Bush. I went to Claremont College, Pomona College. He was at Claremont McKenna. And he put together a book that's going to be published soon about all of there's always, in every jazz musician's career, there's one song that they have written that is a spiritual song to them. Most of the time, it's a ballad. And he's putting together only from one artist, a great artist, just one song. Duke Ellington was when his book entered into the AME church book, song book, come Sunday. When his classic was able to get in there, he was so happy more than any other thing that he's ever done. So, those are kind of things that, there's spirituality, there's God inside of people's music too. It's all comes from.
It's interesting, particularly because the festival this year is devoted to Dave Brubeck. I had the privilege of meeting with him a few times when he was at the festival backstage. And he told me, in keeping with what you're saying right there, Mr. Murray, that for him, the most significant contribution he had made to music was his sacred music. And he immediately, when he got back to the States, he immediately sent me an album of a mass that he wrote for the National Cathedral in D.C. He says, this is where I'm at. So, quite in line with what you're saying there. Other questions?
Duke Ellington said, I always quote him because to me, music is my mistress. It's to me the Bible of band music. And whenever I'm in trouble, I go to his book as I do the Holy Bible. And they're sitting right next to each other. And so I just